Good day. I'm Mike James, and this is Parkitect. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. Got something interesting for you today. We've been working on a couple new things, the new release and the new building delivery system. And I've been playing around with that a little bit. But what I noticed was, you remember a couple, 3 months ago, we made some Main Street buildings. And I loved them. But I wanted to do something a little better. And with the new delivery system, I figured we'd go ahead and explore different options of making kind of a modular building system for the Main Street buildings, and more modular than I had before. I've got it, what I think is pretty much done. I mean, I may add a piece or two here or there, but I think I've really got it where it needs to be. So just stay with me here. We've got a great show coming up for you. Hang on tight. The modular buildings are coming right at you. All right, so here we are in Parkitect Alpha 5C. Let's go ahead and let's just start a new park. And we're going to go to the small sandbox. Don't need a large sandbox. One thing I did want to mention, I think I found a bug in, or a limitation of, not necessarily a bug. My perspective camera, the one I love to use, it looks like it's kind of locked in to the size of this area here. This area is as big as it will go. When you go to the large parks, it actually won't go any farther than this. It actually stops, like there's an invisible wall. Not a big deal, because I can just, build the park and, copy and paste pieces if I want to. And hopefully it'll get updated. But here we are in the park, and I'm just going to do this right over here. And it sounds like thunder, but that's okay. We've got our battery backup going. So in the blueprints, I have made some really nice buildings. Now, not these, but let's scroll down to here. And you'll notice all these buildings here are part of the set. Now, some of them are duplicates, but let's go ahead and let me show you the main building, the building that I think is just the base building here. Let's show you that. Now, I'm going to plop it down there, and for right now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete the shop that's inside of it. I can't stand that little icon saying there's no stuff. Couple key features here. Number one, you can see the path here, and you notice there's a half path here. When you build a pathway here, you notice that these are out half a unit, so that you could put a little bit of decoration in there. Inside of the building, you can see here's the path that the people can go on. You can put any kind of benches or seating you want. If you wanted to, you could actually put another, you could delete the path here and here and go ahead and put more shops in there, but the shop goes right here. And if we scroll around to the back here, you notice I've got the door for the person to deliver the supplies to the shop. Brick on the bottom, just like previously. Clapboard from building set number 2. And I have also these lovely awnings. Now, these are not the new awnings that came with the update to Alpha 5. These are the awnings from the building set, and I want to show you something very important about how I made these awnings, or how I use these awnings, I should say. Going to building set number 2, and the first time you pull up, I've got so many mods, it just takes a while. It has to scroll through everything a couple times. But so here's your awning. Okay, let's take that medium awning, which is this awning here. And if I hold down Alt so it snaps, you'll notice something interesting. My awning, that is not how I have my awning. I have my awning one step higher and pushed in. And the reason I do this is because the awnings, they just look too big to me. When you put all these awnings, when you're looking at the building, they stick out farther than is aesthetically pleasing. Now, it very probably is accurate for some awnings, but I just found that when you get all these awnings on these buildings, and I really do like having the awnings on the buildings, that having them stick out so far, especially on the sides where you tend to notice them, they stick way out to here, and it just doesn't make the building look, it just doesn't look right. So I have gone ahead and I've kind of manually inset the awnings on most of the pieces here. Also, you'll notice that on the windows, I have colored the inside of the windows a light blue instead of the default light yellowy orange that they come with. And the color scheme I have here is just a very basic, brownish, brown and tan, brown and white color scheme. You can make them any colors you want, and I'll show you one of the buildings I have that I kind of, showed a bunch of different, little bit day glowish on the colors. Right here on the brickwork is the brick set, not the bricks that came with the update last month, but this brickwork set here that was released just before the bricks were announced for the base game. And the roofs here are part of building set number 2 as well. Some of these beams are from building set number 3. Others of them possibly may be from the dining set, although I believe all of these are from building set number 3. I'm not absolutely positive. So really only a couple mods that you need for this, but I think as a base, it is a really nice looking building. But the issue is, of course, if you put a bunch of these down, it's gonna get pretty boring after a while. They just, building after building after building looking the same. So what I did was I developed a little snap and fit system for the mod where I actually designed pieces that will fit right over this center section or at the top if you want. When you put them at the top, you probably have to do a little bit of editing right here. Just put something in so it absolutely latches down to the roof, but it still looks good either way. But for example, now this one, the awning is the full awning. I didn't correct that. But you just take this piece here, write it out, put it here, go up one, and cover that up. Now, you will notice the window here. You can get rid of that if you want. You just replace the wall. Real easy. And I didn't even delete the window behind it. But look. Completely new look. And didn't even delete the window behind it, although you can. If you want to keep your total number of building pieces down, keep your frame rate up, you can delete all those extraneous pieces as you want. Also, this round one, same idea. Go up one, put it down. If you want to get rid of that, you can. I would advise, just for simplicity, just color it the same color as this here. You'll never even notice it. And look at that. Beautiful. Now, I always get questions when I show this piece. The round window. Where is the round window? There isn't one. The way you make the round window is, there's a set that I have here. I mispronounce this poor person's name. Resival Deco. And I don't use very many of the pieces in here. A lot of them are fairly redundant from other pieces, but it's nice to have them. And it has a couple nice little pieces of wooden things here that you can use, to make soffits and things. But the great addition, and I really wish he'd make more, are these two round things here. And unfortunately, you can use both of them, but only the small one actually has a component to go inside of it. So you put this down right here. Okay? And then you go to the infrastructure, the pipe set mod. and you can take, see this little grate here? There's one that's up on its side. You take that, and you stick that up here inside of it, and you color it. And then to make these crossbars, I take both a horizontal. Can you see? Let me try to zoom in on these crossbars here. I take a horizontal or that's a vertical, and a horizontal one. There's a horizontal set of pipes. It's like two pipes next to each other. Oh, it's these. It's not these, although those I guess would work. It's these. And then I took a horizontal set as well and just made them disappear. I'm amazing. No, let's see here. So I just took them, lined them up with the window, and made the crossbar. And the second one behind it is inside the building. You can't see it. It's inside the building. But that's how I made that. Just taking the tools you have and making something that you didn't have otherwise, because we really need some round windows. So that's how I made this base here, and then I just added the things to make the additional pieces. And you can see the interior there. You can see the extra pieces. You be real careful when you delete, or you delete a wall. I knew I was going to end up doing that. It's okay. We'll use a new eyedropper tool. Just click it here. Get it lined up. Pull it up. There, we're done. So that's how I made the base here. You notice there's I deleted that when I put the pieces on. I tend to delete that one awning. Let's show you some of the others. And just for the sake of speed, we'll just throw these all together real quick. So, Main Street base. Oh, no, not base. I want Main Street 1. I kept making these just a little better and just a little better and just a little better. And you notice you can also put them together like this. That's fine. And when you put them together like that, if you want to delete this downspout looking thing here, you certainly can. Because they're together, there's actually two of them in each spot. But if you want to just make it so the roof is smooth, there you go. Okay, so now you got one big building, all of which have a shop in them that we'll delete to get rid of that nasty icon. And you could just take any of these other pieces. You know, we showed you the round one. We showed you this one. I have one with like a domed roof. I have one that is kind of like a porch with a door. And I also have one that is an actual porch. And I should have deleted the window. Of course you can't. Gotta love it. So anyway, that's how you could just make a set of buildings and instantly have them just look absolutely amazing. One of the other things I did is I did make one piece if you wanted to kind of extend these out a little bit, like that. Only thing you have to do is you just have to delete this fascia brick. And it can go on either side. It's side agnostic. And that's in case you want your building to have just kind of something kind of poking out. And you can put stuff up here if you want. And keep in mind, some of the things that you can do here is you can use these buildings here to make an entire enclosed, encircled area. One of the problems I was coming across, though, is, well, what happens when you're going up here, and then we get to a corner because you want to build a big, you know, Main Street area, right? So you want to build something that's a big loop, big area for people to walk around. What do? Well, there's two problems. You've got inside corners and outside corners. So I built from the set, pre-constructed, I should say, some inside and outside corners. Here is the outside corner. And over here, I'll show you the inside corner. If I can find it. I spent a lot of time making these here. There it is. Oh, that's the base. Yeah, the base is good enough. So here we have corner that you put inside, and big problems getting this roof to match up and getting everything to match up here, and you end up with this big flat piece. One of the issues you have is that the bricks don't have a 45-degree angle piece on them, and it's hard to get things to look right. So I built this, and I really like it, and all these can use the same modifications. Right here, you really can't. I only built two pieces for that, and that was the one I just put down here. And then there was another one with a little more of a fancy interior section for the corner. And if I could find it here, I just renamed all of these things so that I could actually have a more consistent naming convention for them. So here's the other one. And on this one, you notice it has a curved, and you see these little slats here, these little lines. You could do some really interesting stuff with them. And I had a couple ideas, and this is one of the ones that I kind of did just for fun. And you'll notice I have the basic modification on here, but then here I took those vertical beams that I used, and I colored them white, then light pink, then a little darker pink, a little darker, and gave it kind of a gradiated effect. I really love the look of that. And of course, you can also see that we have different colors and how the building colors would work together. Now let's take a quick look at that outside corner. And you notice it's just the same as everything else. Everything's the same. I just had to put something in the middle for the outside corner to work. And you could just put these buildings together, and you can even, if you want to do just a little bit of building, which I know if you're watching this video, you'll do a little bit of building here and there. You can even offset things a little bit. You could just take this and put it back one. And all you need to do is just get rid of that, maybe take the window out. You might want to get rid of the actual shade on that window, or just remove that window completely. But you could just put these back, put them forward. There's just all kinds of things you can do. And then you take all these little modules I built for the center and put them wherever you want. Let me show you what I was talking about when I was talking about putting them on the roof. Okay. Now you notice that this thing has a back to it, but with the back, all we have to do is delete that roof. We could put this in. Look at that. Now, it's got this piece on the roof. Now, if you really want to be picky, you'll notice right here doesn't quite match up. You could just take the select tool, select that, get it around right, lift it up, and then you can just plop it right down if you can find it. There it is. Oh, I'm at a bad angle. Don't you hate that when you get that angle and just the slightest mouse move makes everything goes absolutely bonkers? And so you could just do this. Okay? And now it's perfect. But anyway, there you are. You could put a square one here, but just look at the differentiation you can get with just a couple pieces in just a few minutes. And keep in mind, you can change all these colors. I'm pointing at the screen. I've always done that my entire life. You can change the colors and just give it a real Main Street look. Whether you go for the day glow, hey, I'm going crazy, the colors are all really bright look, or you go for a more subdued, some buildings are a different color white, some are a light tan, that kind of thing. I just think that this kind of modular building set really helps when you're trying to design a section in a park where you're going to have a lot of very similar looking buildings, but you don't want them to look exactly the same, but you don't want to spend 10, 12 hours building wall by wall, piece by piece. I'm going to upload all of these right to Parkitect Nexus, and we'll put some links in the video description. Tell me what you think. Have you made any of these? Have you started making modular pieces where you can put pieces together, kind of like Legos, on your own buildings to save yourself time? Be sure to, make a set out of them so people can just take them and from Parkitect Nexus and you upload them and people can share the work that you've done and have fun making their own creations. I'm Mike James. This is Parkitect. And until next time, I hope each and every one of you has a good one.